I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act.
And for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
Well, that went well.
Donald Trump went absolutely viral for this moment that he had with this interviewer who tried to confront him about certain things that he was saying about Kamala Harris, his political opponent, saying that she's a DEI hire of a vice president, which we all know is true. She's only hired for the vice president job of Joe Biden because she's a woman and not white. That's why. She's not actually black, even though she's going to claim that she's black. But she's not white and a woman. So that's why she was hired for the vice president, to tick off some boxes. And everybody knows that to be true, but Donald Trump is trying to appeal at the best that he can to the normies, so he doesn't want to keep saying stuff like that. And at this convention, some kind of black people convention in Chicago, I don't know what's going on, but he was asked the question about calling Kamala Harris a DEI, hire as a vice president. And his response is going absolutely viral because it was absolutely perfect. Ana Kasparian in this video reacts to that response and, a very Ana Kasparian way. And we'll check that out here in 1 second. Let's first check out the clip of Donald Trump destroying this woke reporter.
Claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you?
Oof. Obviously a tough question. Donald Trump spoke before the National Association of Black Journalists and things got fiery. Not so great for Donald Trump. I think that he handled this event poorly, to say the least, and it appears that some in conservative media might even concede to that. Now, with that in mind, let's take a look at how he answered that question.
Well, I don't think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful.
Notice how the crowd, like Ana Kasparian can say all she wants that Donald Trump didn't perform well here. Everywhere you go, Donald Trump gets such a positive response. UFC events like these that are for black people. I'm pretty sure this is like some black convention or something. He gets such a positive response everywhere he goes. It's hard to see him losing this next election, but it was also hard to see him losing the last one that just passed. So who knows? But yeah, Ana Kasparian can say all she wants. This was a bad performance from Trump. I'm not going to say that it was. I think it was actually pretty good, and he went, pretty viral for it. And also, it proves once again that people love Trump. Everybody loves Trump.
That I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country. I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act.
And for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
Well, that went well. Curious what you thought about his response to, I will admit, it was a challenging question. Sure, you could even say
it wasn't a challenging question. It was just a question that was very obviously loaded with bias, and there's no right answer to the question. And the way that she asked it, there's no correct answer to that question because it was very loaded. It was a loaded question. The person was obviously very biased, probably did work for ABC or some woke news network that was just trying to make Donald Trump look bad. That's what she gets paid for. And he doesn't, it's a lose-lose situation if he answers the question. It wasn't a difficult one. It was just a very loaded one. That's all.
Maybe a little bit hostile, but I think it was an important question to ask him, especially if he's attempting to appeal to black voters. But what do you think, John?
It wasn't hostile. She just did a bullet point list of other insane things that he's done. And he decided the next time this happens, I want to make sure there's new material on the list. So let me rapid fire give you some more.
But John, be fair. She didn't even say, hello, how are you?
I almost want to play the tape back because I bet she did, but I also don't care. I mean, from start to finish, the lie about why they started late, it apparently was not the equipment issue. We could get into it perhaps, but that is not why they started late.
Yeah, I don't
immediately
care.
Saying it's a horrible, I've never been asked such a horrible, nasty question. You're an adult. What are you talking about? I don't care how nasty it is. How is that how you respond to it? And then the ABC, you're fake news, You should shut up. No one's ever been better for black people. I love black people. It's madness. It was sheer madness from floor to ceiling. The massive lies. He demonstrated.
Is it really like that crazy? I don't like, this guy is like this is a TYT employee right here. Like, Ana Kasparian no longer fits the mold of a Young Turks employee. This guy fits the mold right here. This guy losing his mind. I guarantee you he didn't react like this when Meg Thee Stallion was twerking on stage at a Kamala Harris rally. I guarantee you he didn't. He didn't care. When Donald, like, I just don't understand. What is so crazy about what Donald Trump said here?
Demonstrated in the first response every reason that people were saying he shouldn't have been invited in the first place. He hates black people and he hates journalists. So an organization of black journalists seems like a difficult place for him to do well. And so to continually attack and then to tell a massive auditorium of black professionals, I don't care what you think. I'm the best that you've ever had. How the hell is that his place to say?
He never said, I don't care what you think. He just stated what he thinks. He didn't say, I don't care what you think. He just said, I am the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. And also, he's trying to say, how dare you say this to this auditorium of black professionals? Dude, did you hear the applause whenever he was talking? Every time he talked, there was applause and cheers. Every time.
At least get one of your black surrogates or something like that. Give them the order to go tell that lie for you or whatever. But for him to say that is madness. And I know we're gonna get to a lot of elements of this. You could take the 10 most ridiculous things coming out of this, get rid of them, and we'd have material for a half hour on this. This is one of the worst appearances he's ever had in his life.
Yeah, I think that he squandered an opportunity. Like, if he actually was strategically minded, he would be aware and he would expect this kind of questioning to happen, to occur. Again, the event was specifically for the National Association of Black Journalists. He knows that there has been a lot of concern about his rhetoric and statements about people in the.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
Black community. And so he should have been prepared for this, and he should have seen it as a strategic opportunity to kind of change his messaging. But he totally fumbled, and he fumbled again and again and again. The entirety of the interview was about 34 minutes. So we can't show you all of the times that he fumbled, but these were the elements of his statements that like really stood out to me. So let's get to immigration and what he refers to as black jobs.
And a lot of the journalists in this room I know and I have great respect for, a lot of the journalists in this room are black. I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best.
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right.
And
Mr.
they're taking the employment away from black people. They're coming in, they're invading. It's an invasion of millions of people, probably 15, 16, 17 million people.
It's not even worth playing these people's games, you know? Like, I feel like it's not like, is it really worth it to try and capture the black voting audience of people? Like, I don't think anybody new is going to vote for Donald Trump because Donald Trump is saying people are coming across the border and taking black jobs. Like, I don't think that's going to get any black people to vote for Donald Trump. I don't. And it's not worth playing those games where the people who you're trying to capture are then always going to follow up that statement with, well, what is a black job? You know, they're always gonna like they always want to be the victim. They always want to act like you're saying something derogatory to them. It's not even worth it. Like any of the people who are gonna vote for Donald Trump before, I don't think they're gonna be swayed to vote for Donald Trump because he's saying things like I'm the best president for black people, or I am gonna save black jobs and stuff like that. The black people who are gonna vote for Trump are gonna vote for him whether he says that or not, and the ones that aren't going to vote for him whether he says that or not. You know, they're just going to always follow it up with, they always have it in the back of their mind, they're brainwashed to think that Donald Trump hates them because they're black, and that's never going to change. They're brainwashed, and that's how it's going to be. No matter how many times Donald Trump says they're taking black jobs or I'm the best president for black people since Lincoln, it doesn't matter. You know, let me know in the comments what you think about what Ana Kasparian and the other idiot named John or something had to say about what Donald Trump said in his little speech / interview with these black journalists that were trying to frame him and attack him. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole Donald Trump and Ana Kasparian situation.